For our microculture, we chose to analyze the dynamics of the church youth group. The youth group functions as a bridge in its attempt to provide a way for those outside of the church to have an easy passage into church life. Within the larger church culture, the youth group serves as a bridge for the younger generation to develop into church leaders. When students begin in the youth group, they are not at a point where they are considered too old to be treated as children, but not yet old enough or developed enough, whether spiritually or emotionally, to take on a role as a contributing member of the church body. Therefore, youth groups are put in place to allow students an opportunity to grow that is tailored to their needs and allows them to develop spiritually. There are ways in which the youth group functions as a game. Certain unspoken rules that are used to help orient those in the culture and allow leaders and students to self-assess.
Among these criteria are winners and losers. Generally speaking, the youth group winners are the kids who have popularity and losers are those who do not. There are criteria for popularity that are to a youth group, traits that are generally ignored in other microcultures, such as ability to prepare a strong devotional or provide spiritual leadership. There are also right and wrong ways to play the youth group game. The right way is to show up to events, abide by the rules, listen to the leaders, and take opportunities to find personal spiritual gifts. The wrong way to play the game is to skip out on activities, ignore rules, and refuse to engage in activities when one is present for them. Youth groups also engage in certain rituals that help to shape their identities. They go to summer camp and weekend retreats in order to develop a sense of unity and to work on building up the students spiritually in order to live out their faith outside of the retreats. Service opportunities such as mission trips help to shape students by exposing them to other cultures and worldviews, as well as developing in them a desire to serve others once they are finished with the youth group. Although these events take less planning and effort because of their frequency, youth groups generally gather at least once per week for prayer, worship, and teaching, which can have a greater impact in the long run. These are all rituals of intensification, although retreats, camps, and mission trips can sometimes serve as rituals of initiation into the youth group if they are traditionally one of the first activities that a student engages in as an official member of the group. A youth minister leads the youth group. Generally, he is a paid minister for the church who has a passion and desire to help young people develop spiritually. He plans and organizes most youth group events, as well as appointing a group of people who help him organize the events. These helpers may include, but are not limited to, youth deacons, elders, parents, volunteers, college students, and young married couples. Benefits include opportunities to assist in the emotional development of young Christians, gaining close relationships with students and parents, and knowing that they have contributed to the spiritual development of future leaders in the kingdom of God.
There are certain worldview questions that those involved in youth groups must ask. Among them are, where are we, and what is this place like? The where is in church buildings all over the United States. Generally, the youth group is isolated in an area of the church building, usually in youth rooms or youth centers, that are intentionally oriented to appeal to students and be seen as trendy. The church is a holy place, a safe place, and a place full of impactful memories, the perfect arena for growth in one's faith. Who are we? The who of the youth group is a gathering of Christian junior high and high school age students. The identity markers for the group are the Bible as the authoritative teaching of God, church buildings as the general meeting place, the cross as a symbol of Christ's sacrifice, and for some reason, Christian t-shirts, cargo shorts, and bad puns are common across youth groups. Another worldview question we have to ask is, what is the problem, what is the solution, and how do we know? The problem recognized in American culture is that teenagers have rebellious tendencies and usually fall away from their faith during this time of life. Many teenagers are in the process of maturation and self-identification. Adults who are willing to help believe that this stage of life can be conquered with a little guidance and consistency. Teenagers have a negative stereotype and is seen as members of society who cause problems and cannot handle much responsibility. Many churches throughout America have proposed a solution to teenage madness. The solution is the youth group itself. A youth group provides everything a teenager is looking for: acceptance, guidance, friendship, role models, accountability, and the opportunity to get promoted into more involved tasks as they get older. Many church youth ministers empower their teens by giving them responsibilities when it comes to planning trips, retreats, and fundraisers. This helps keep them out of trouble while teaching them morals, responsibility, and how to have a faith of their own. A youth group is not a perfect fix to anything, but it does help in a number of ways with issues the teens may have never learned otherwise. With strong role models present, it becomes easier for the teens to discern right from wrong, which is very important given all the temptations a teen faces throughout high school. Another major benefit of a youth group is that the teen's faith becomes a choice. It is not forced or inherited. The teens begin to develop a personal relationship with Jesus, and in the best case scenario, their faith foundation will be strong enough to sustain itself through the transition to college.